Hey everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered Beauty, and this is Rain and your host. Today I have an amazing guest who is became one of my really good friends, who is like an older sister to me. And today we are here to talk about, in life we all go through different things, and sometimes we have through some crazy unfortunate losses in our lifetime. And today it's a special day. Today we are going to talk about an amazing person that I didn't get the chance to meet, but by becoming friends with her sister, I can tell they were alike a lot. So to introduce who Martha May is, I have no other than her older sister, one of her older sisters, Libby. So Libby, want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, so I am Libby Aleman. I am Martha May's older sister. We do have a younger sister, but I'm the older one.
So I guess we can go into Martha. I know this day is very special to you. Who is Martha?
Martha was such a quirky, fun, just a very happy person. But it just takes a lot of time for her to have grown into who Martha May was, because she wasn't always that person. But Martha was just very happy, and she was definitely a nerd. She loved anime and all things Japanese culture. She kind of dabbled into a lot of different things. She was a gamer, a huge gamer. And those were really her passions. And she loved cats.
She
She
loves
was
cats.
a
Nice.
cat lover.
I know
Absolutely.
I know you have mentioned and you've shown me that she was like so into Pokemon.
She was. She got me, my kids, into Pokemon, and she really identified with one, especially Blossom, I think is.
Blossom.
Yeah. And once I looked it up after she passed away, I understood why she identified and was really close to that particular Pokemon, and the way that what is it, like when they transform
They
from.
evolve.
There you go. See, I am not a nerd, but
When they
that's what
evolve.
Martha was. She was nerdy and funny and loved movies. Definitely loved family. She was a big family person. My mom, she was absolutely attached to my mom and my parents. And then she loved my kids too. So she was a huge family person, but she just loved all her friends.
Nice. I like that. I know, I think there's one thing that me and you share a lot. We both have lost two important people in our lives. I lost my little brother 5 years ago. You lost Martha. Today marks her third anniversary. Am I correct?
3 years now.
And I know it's something that it's really hard to how do you, for people who are out there that are going through similar things that we're going through, I know we all deal with grief differently. How are you dealing with the loss of Martha?
First, I really just try to remember who she is. And all of the things that she would tell me. She would get mad at me if I was upset, but she would also listen. So I tend to talk to her a lot in the car. That's when we've had our deepest conversations. That is where she came out to me at that time, when she was 18, that she was gay, which I already knew, but I was just waiting for her to tell me. And we cried, we laughed, we would just listen to music. That was like our time. We took a trip to Austin to go see Deftones and Incubus. Like, in the car was our most deepest conversation. So that's where I really
You
I
feel like
let
you
it
connect
out.
with her.
Yeah, because I feel like she's riding in the car with me, and we're
Oh,
listening to music. And I think she talks to me through music when it's like one of the songs that she introduced me to with Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
And I know that she's talking to me.
And in things like that, like a lot of us, we do, there's like the most littlest things. It may not seem something so big to somebody else, but to us, it has like that meaning, and it has like a way of them telling us. Like for me, the way I feel like I connect with my little brother, it has to do a lot with like animals. My brother, he loved dogs a lot. And Yeah, like for me, for the way I connect with him has to do with a lot of animals. He was such a huge dog lover,
Oh.
and sometimes I feel like my dog Pumpkin sometimes like possesses like the soul of my little brother. I feel because there's sometimes I talk to him and he just like paying attention and then he'll do things that my brother would do.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, and I'll be like, huh. I was like, are you possessing Pumpkin right now?
Or maybe
But
playing with it.
yeah, and because there's times where Pumpkin would just be looking up and he'll be just like,
Mhm.
like wagging his tail. I'm like, and sometimes I'll be like, okay, who the hell are you looking at? Like,
Yeah.
but I think, yeah, I think that, and I think there's like those things like how you said that she got you and your kids, your family, Pokemon. I think that's like another way of connecting through her,
Yeah.
is like either watching the show or buying the little things of Pokemon. Like it's a way of still connecting. Doing the smallest things connects you in such a strong emotional connection. And I think like that, I think that's what helps a lot of us get through this life, when we connect with the smallest things that meant a huge thing to them.
Yeah, maybe it just shows that appreciation, but I'm definitely there too, and I mean, same thing with our cat. I wonder if whether Sadie can see Martha. I think
Well, I
about
mean,
that.
there is there's
They say
like
that,
that
yeah.
superstition is that animals can actually see our loved ones or the
Yeah,
ones who have passed. I'm a very strong believer of that. I feel like they can. I feel like they can see more than what we can as humans.
yeah.
And I'm sure Martha visits you like randomly. I would make jokes about like when my brother, I'll be like, don't be coming out of me on the most awkward moments.
Yeah,
So
I think about those things too. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like today, for instance, this morning I tripped, and the first thing I thought was, "She probably made me trip." So, and only because she was that's who she was. We'd always say that we would pick on each other, and
and
so
she
I
and
do
she,
believe that.
and she probably wanted you to like, she knew that this day would probably be so heavy on you, and she wanted you to have like some type of laughter in your
Yeah.
life today.
And Martha just wasn't a selfish person whatsoever. I can tell you that. Like she would give you whatever she had. She would share, she would buy you. I mean, it was about you. And my sister would get mad at me if I was just crying all day and being sad, and she would probably cuss me out and tell me to get the fuck over it, like why are you still crying about it? It's 3 years later, get over it, Libby. But yeah, I just try to remember that. Like, she wouldn't want me to be crying or sad or anything. She would want me to do something that she loved, like maybe go have ramen or eat at Luby's because
With Louis her favorite.
Luby's was her favorite. And
I don't like Luby's. I
really,
feel like there's certain things I like. Like, tend on with the girls out to go eat there. I'm just like, do we have to come eat here?
yeah,
Like,
she loved Luby's and Bud Jones.
Jones.
She was like an old soul. Like,
Nice.
she loved the Golden Girls too. So, yeah, when she'd go to Luby's, she would get the liver and onions. Like,
Oh my
she was
God.
literally
I
an
was
old
wondering if that
lady.
was actually good, because I would see that. I was like, I wonder if that's actually good.
She loved it, and it so weird. She always loved like the most weirdest things on the menu or the most expensive things, and she would want to try it. She was just so fearless in that way when it came to food. So,
Nice. And how was Martha? I know like one thing that in our community, her being a trans woman, and I know that's something common that I have with her being a trans woman. I know like there's this amazing now that, they created, I know Martha was working there. They created an honor of the Martha May Foundation. How did that make you feel when you first like heard about it, or how did it come about it?
yeah. So, they brought it to my attention, contacted me, and asked me if this would be something that our family would be okay with. Like, would we approve of, you know, them creating, this fund and dedicating it to her and naming it after her. At first, I mean, I'm not a selfish person like that. I feel like so many people loved Martha, and she didn't even know that she was loved that much.
Oh,
And so I feel like as big sister, why not share her and how amazing she was? And she really made an impact, being a prevention specialist. So why not, right? My family, we immediately said, yes, yeah, go ahead. You can use her because she was happy. She
Okay.
loved what she did, and she impacted not only the staff, but customers that would come in and want to get tested. And I think that's beautiful. Like, that's something that she found that she loved and she didn't even know. She found a
She,
purpose.
yeah, let's say she found her purpose and where she
Yeah.
belonged.
And I mean, she was happy there. So why wouldn't I want this? This is only something that's going to be something beautiful, something to share. And if it helps somebody else, that's all she wanted. So why not?
And
I
I,
don't, yeah, nothing negative, nothing.
that's
Why
good.
not? Right?
And I think that's amazing creating the Martha May. I think it's very it shows a lot of how far like the time and generation we are now, how trans people are celebrated, how
Mhm.
we are represented. And I think creating this in honor of Martha May just really shows out there like, hey, this is a safe place for the trans community. With everything that's going on right now in this
Oh,
in
yeah.
this world,
Hmm.
it's scary because like especially in healthcare, you don't know like as a trans person, you there's trans people that we don't know what place is safe for us. And for the longest time before I ever worked in the medical field, I would always have that. I'm like, can I go there? Like, am I gonna be
Yeah.
judged? Am I gonna be safe? And so I feel like Martha May also shows a big representation of this is a safe zone.
Yeah.
Like you are loved, you're respected here. Like
Yeah.
this is a place to come for your like healthcare or any type of like needing assistance. And I think it's amazing that this is like one of the first organizations that I'm aware of that has a fund that is dedicated to the trans community and
Yeah.
in honor of Martha May. And I think that was so beautiful, like behind the story of it.
Hmm.
And it's really it's amazing because as a trans person, we want to see that representation out there and know that hey, we have allies that are willing to support us in any way
Hmm.
possibly they can, even if it's the
Yeah.
smallest thing.
And, kind of going back to what you mentioned about healthcare and feeling safe, that is exactly what Martha experienced. And I didn't know until much later. I mean, I'm big sister and I feel so protective of her in the sense that had I known all of that, I would have been right there with her. But, looking back and what she had told me was she didn't like her pediatrician doctor. Um, and she never came out, even though she knew since middle school that she was gay, before her transition. I knew she was special is what I couldn't quite figure it out at
Hmm.
like I'm 7 years older than her, but I couldn't figure it out. I knew she was very girly and feminine, this little boy that loved video games and Mortal Kombat, but specifically, the girl
The
characters
girl
because of her
characters.
outfit. Like,
Yeah, that's
that's what I
amazing.
remember. And growing up, she never expressed that to me until we were adults, but hearing her story is a lot of what I've already been told about other people's, people in the trans community, what they're experiencing, what they've gone through. And so Martha's experience is very, very similar. And I think it's awesome that we have this, especially in honor of her. She was part of, ARC's staff, and that's wonderful. But to know that, and
She was
my
part of the family.
for sure. And just for me to like share that, like I want other people to understand that she went through the same struggles, even though she had a supporting sister. And my mom and my dad, it took them a little bit more, my dad, which is pretty traditional in Hispanic culture, but she definitely had me, and
That's
her
amazing.
coming out and saying, I want to transition, don't tell mom. And I'm like, yeah, that's not my story.
And it's really hard. Like as me, like when I came out, it was really hard. I was going through like my like darkest identity, and not knowing
Yeah.
that my parents already knew.
Yeah.
And so it's very scary. Like it's scary to come out when, especially when we don't know that our family knows already.
Yeah.
So I just imagine what she went through,
Yeah.
and it's scary. But you being the big sister and being there for her, like I know I've said this on another episode, where we don't get to have like not all of us are blessed and lucky to have our family be so
Exactly. Yeah.
supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes like some of our people go through a really dark path in life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard. So having that, you being like, is amazing. It's just so lucky to have sister because I'm getting to know you the past 2 years. I think I see you as like a big sister. You're just very sister. You're just sister material.
Yeah. No, thank you. I try to be because I know that that's like I lost my sister, unfortunately. And if I can be a sister to somebody else who may not have any family, then that's okay. I'm making her proud in that way. And I tell my parents, they've since Martha's passing, they've had people that came out to them saying that they're gay, they're lesbian, they're trans. Like my dad had somebody come to him and he was so shocked that they felt comfortable.
Aw.
And then when my dad said, well, my child was trans, that person felt safe. And I'm just
Aw.
like, you know what? It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we're doing right by her. And maybe this all had to have happened, unfortunately. But if I could be somebody else's sister, family member, I'm here. I'm here too. Hey, that's one person that we have on our side and we're
And your parents
yeah.
amazing. I'm getting to meet them at the very first Martha May event. Last year, I think that was like really fun and get to see them, and getting to know like your mom and dad and get to meet them, like knowing these were Martha and your parents. And I think that's amazing because like I said, like we don't get to, a lot of people in our community don't get to have that bond with their parents.
Yeah.
And I got to meet your parents, getting to know them, and they're really sweet,
Mm-hmm.
big open hearts. And that's why I was so excited when I saw them at this year's Martha May event.
Yeah.
Getting to see them, it's like, it's exciting because, because like,
Yeah, I was very surprised my dad wanted to watch Tu Wong Fu.
that was a good movie. That was funny because, like, if you see, like this is like the like these like these are the people that showed love to their child and accepted them. It may
Yeah.
have taken a little bit of time, like you said, on your dad's side, because being
Yeah.
like the Latino culture,
Mm-hmm.
but it got there. It got there, got to show that love. And I think a lot of people in communities that are feeling like I can't support my kid because either religion or the culture that we brought up. I think at the end of the day, that shouldn't matter as much. It should be
Yeah,
more about your child.
exactly.
And I think it's really important because I know, like, when I came out, my parents were so supportive. To this day, like, unfortunately, like, I lost my parents this year,
Yeah, I
and
know.
but it's the hardest thing because they're my biggest
Yeah.
cheerleaders. But they have always accepted me for who I was and supported every decision, even if my decisions seemed crazy at times. My parents they knew what I was doing. They trusted me, and knowing that my decisions were going to either teach me a lesson
Mm-hmm.
or it was going to elevate like my experiences or life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what amazing a lot of people is that they need to, anybody that's listening out there, like any parents that are questioning, like, should I be supportive of my child? I think you should be supportive of your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this world, we need love and acceptance. Even if you don't agree, but at least accept them as your child and show
Oh, yeah,
love.
for
I think that's
sure.
like the most important thing because suicide rates are crazy.
Especially for trans people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for trans people, especially like in majority in like the LGBT community in general, I think
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot higher suicide rate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if you show love to people, like I feel like those numbers, we can drop those numbers down, and
Yeah.
eventually where like love would always win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, like talking about, you know, looking at depression, looking at um, suicide, and Martha experienced that too. And I was shocked when she told me about that. Like, it made me sad for her because, even though I may not have had like the most Like maybe my dad had a hard time. He even had a hard time accepting her when she came out as gay. Like that was hard. Me and my mom already knew, but when she announced to them that she was transitioning, they had a hard time with that too. But, just in general, the people around her, like at work, sometimes she would get bullied, being an adult. And she expressed that she was having a hard time. She was going to counseling. She was taking, depression medications, things like that. She was very much a homebody. So that definitely didn't help. And she wasn't the type that drank and she didn't go out. She was definitely attached to my parents. She was attached to being at home. She loved being at home, playing video games, very sedentary, but that didn't add to the depression when she was in that season of her life. That's why I'm happy that at least in the end she was happy. She was happy doing what she was doing because I would have hated that she took her life because she was so sad and she was happy.
I'm
But I guess
glad.
God needed her more, so I guess I can. I guess I won't be selfish.
She's selfish. I said she's probably right now looking at us. She's like, her and my brother right now looking at me like, look at them two over there. I remember when I first met you and I started working there at ARC. And I met you like there were just something like, do you remember? I think it was like the first or second week of the painting that I gave you.
Oh yeah, yes,
And I
yes.
remember I'm like, I was like, it was in my dream. Like I was gonna get, I don't know. I can't remember the whole memory, but I
Mhm.
remember like it was meant for you, like that huge, like that beautiful art. And
Mhm.
I'm sure you still have it. You better
Yes.
not sold it, girl.
No.
It was so crazy. Like,
So,
I don't know. I just like really like connected with you like right away when
yeah,
I
we
started,
definitely did.
like connected like with you. And I think, and I'm glad like that painting, because and I think coming back, remembering, I remember like in my dream, it was just there. Like I had to paint it, but it was for somebody. It wasn't for me. It was for somebody. When I met you, like it just all like clicked together. I'm like, holy crap. Like this is who the painting was meant for.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I such a have like a love and passion, and I think that like for me painting became my way of healing from the loss of my brother.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think that we're both going through that, and I
Yeah.
think that was like a way of bonding and connecting, like connecting my brother and Martha. I feel like that was like an introduction for them to meet,
Mhm.
and like
Mhm.
by me handing you that painting.
Well, like even my mom's like will ask, "Well, how's Rain doing? Is she doing
Aw.
good?" So my mom feels like, well, if I can be somebody else's mom because I lost my child, why not? So I
Aw.
thought that was beautiful when she like reached out to me and was like, "Oh, hi." And then that's when she saw you
Oh, that
that one
day.
day. Yes. And she was like, "Oh, here," and gave you one of
I still have
Martha's.
it.
Yeah.
So when I went to the Keisha Cole concert like last month,
Mhm.
or in the beginning, somewhere was it last month? I don't even know what month it was. So what, a few weeks ago, I took it. I
Oh,
took the
did
bag, so
you?
I had it like, cause like the concerts you have to have a clear bag,
Yeah, and
and
it
I
is
had it
clear.
hanging. I was like, I'm gonna use this one. My
Yeah.
friend was all like, "Where'd you get that?" It says T-Mobile, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, this actually belonged to my friend Libby's sister Martha, who passed." And she's like, "Oh," and so I was like, "I have it." So
Yeah.
I use it like now, and I was gonna bring it today, but I was such in a rush because usually when if I'm recording content,
Mhm.
I like to put the mics in down because it's just more smaller to
Yeah, it
carry.
is small.
So,
Yeah.
but I was such in a rush. But then since today's Martha, like the anniversary of Martha, I wanted
Yeah.
to bring out like the merch for Martha.
Yeah.
But I should include that one too.
So,
But I think like this whole journey, I know it's like it's still very healing for you and your family. And I know I want to get more into of like what I know, like since we both work in healthcare,
mhm.
and the complications, like what was the experience like for Martha going in, like what struggles that she went through during like the final like months.
So, I know one thing that she was afraid of, it was being judged, just like what you said. Um, being judged using her dead name, but she was pretty okay when it came to that. So she one thing that I think she experienced a lot towards the end when she was at the hospital was them just not acknowledging Martha. That especially at the end. It's something that I like kept pushing, or I would ask for a different nurse, or at least try to talk to them to let them know, like, can you just please use Martha? I know the documentation says otherwise, but this is what she goes by. And once I like advocated for her, usually, any of the staff, they were like, oh yeah, no problem. But the first time my mom took her to another hospital, um, I don't know. We don't know if it was because she was trans that they just kind of brushed her off and,
They made
discharged
it
her.
like right away.
Yeah, they made it seem like it was nothing. Um, and so I kept telling my mom, no, just go to a different hospital. And the hospital that I pushed her towards was a place that does, advocate for LGBTQ. I mean, it, I felt like if you're advocating, I expect to be treated,
Yeah.
and you to treat my sister as if she's your sister. But then again, Martha always had me to protect her in a
Oh,
sense, that
to
I
advocate
was,
for her.
yeah, I know we're going to do it this way. And yes, 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 documentation. I get that. But why not treat somebody,
Yeah.
with
I
that
think, and
dignity and
and
respect?
it doesn't take an ounce of, oh my God, like to do it. I get it that maybe some certain people believes, but I feel like you should show everybody with respect and dignity.
Yeah.
And if somebody has a different pronoun or different go by different name, there's nothing wrong
No.
with addressing them by what they choose to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people in these outside of our communities lack is the respect, and they think it makes them either feel their own insecurities, because I feel are they insecure about themselves or just in like their heart is just full of hate. And I
Yeah.
think like now with everything that's going on in this world with like healthcare, especially right now that there's constantly the LGBT more the trans community is being attacked right now.
Hmm.
And I think we need as much as allies, because once they come for us, and they're coming for us, they're coming for the
Yeah.
rest of us.
Yeah. And see, that's what I worry about seeing because, like you mentioned, I'm seeing the insurances get billed and the diagnosis codes. And my worry is what if, our trans people who do have insurance, what if the providers are using those diagnosis codes like gender dysphoria? What if the insurance starts denying it just because it says that? Or they see there a script for testosterone. Like that's what I worry about. Like, is that the next step? And
Yeah, and you know what,
it's so scary.
it is scary. So earlier when I send you a text message, I send you a link and you're like, "Oh, I can't see it." So
Yes,
the link that I sent, so it's a perfect time to
I
talk about.
can't see it because I'm not on TikTok.
Okay, well, let me tell you, because I'm a TikTok. So I saw it. It came up on my feed,
Hmm.
and it's actually now the Trump administration is asking doctors their opinion. Oh my God, I'm horrible at some of my letters pronouncing, but they are requesting doctors to like come into like the court and bring like they want lists, addresses, socials of every trans individual patient that
That's
they have.
crazy.
And they just posted this like about like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And
But
looking
that
at this,
wouldn't
it
that
is
violate
like
HIPAA?
yeah, it
Like,
violates HIPAA. And obviously this administration just doesn't care.
yeah,
And
they don't.
it's just so scary because um you just don't know, like, okay, what if doctors do release
Hmm.
that information? Like, are they gonna hunt us down like deers?
Yeah.
Like,
And my mom, unfortunately, my mom has made a comment to me with everything going on. She's just like, I don't know if Martha would have been strong enough to survive living with this administration right now. And I said, no, if she didn't have her friends here. She didn't have people advocating her and supporting her. But she did have all of that. She had a lot of new friends with her new employer who supported her brand new journey. So she did feel empowered. And I
That's
feel
good.
like I don't worry about that if, like, what if, but unfortunately God has other plans. So, okay, fine. But, I can't imagine, I couldn't imagine if I was a trans person and the struggles and the barriers to be able to just be, to
It's
be
hard,
happy.
and
Like, why?
I think you've experienced that with me with an incident that happened last year. You saw
Mm-hmm.
how hurtful and damaging that was for me to
Yeah.
experience that, and it's an ugly feeling. It's an ugly feeling when people make you feel like you're like little or not little, but like you're not human and don't
It,
have the same rights as them.
yeah.
I remember sitting in that office and crying to you, and I was just like, I can't believe for the first time, like, I've gone through so much shit, but I felt like this was like the worst thing that I felt, and it was just the most horrible feeling ever. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I'm actually going through this right now as an adult. I would expect
In
this.
this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. This time, I would expect this like back in school,
Yeah.
but as an adult, like, it was the most. It really broke me. Like, it really broke me because it broke my spirit. Because I'm a tough cookie,
Yeah, you really are.
but
Yeah.
that really empowered me. And it's like, you know what? I'm glad it happened to me because I'm gonna like show like I am not gonna let myself from anybody.
Yeah.
And you that day being there with me, like, it really meant a lot to me. Like, I had like somebody like advocate for me, and so I appreciate like that day you being there for me.
It's I think for me, I don't know if it was just God's way of, like, instilling that in me to just be supportive, because I don't live or experience the things that y'all have gone through, you and my sister and some of our friends. I'll never know that journey. I'll never know those experiences, but I could kind of imagine. And then I think of my sister, all of the people that have kept her down or tried to break her spirit. And one thing was she would always kill them with kindness. Like, she was still kind, but it it would hurt her. Like, she would be broken coming home,
Yeah,
you know.
and I think that's how I would feel at times with certain things, and I would feel like you have to be the bigger person and kill, like you said, kill them with kindness.
Mhm.
I think that's what makes it hard at times.
For sure.
Give me, but yeah, so I know that was like it was a very hard experience, and I appreciate you being there for me, and being also like an amazing sister to Martha. It seems like y'all's bond was just so strong and loving, and I think it's very important. And I guess I know we're running out of time. I
Mhm.
guess one of my final questions, being in the healthcare, things that you get to see behind the scenes, what is something, and with this administration that's happening right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
hopefully those 4 years go by quick, but what,
Hopefully it's cut shorter.
or shorter, or shorter.
Can we vote him out, please?
For real. What is it that you want to see in healthcare or just in general when it comes to the trans community, especially?
I think it has to start with the education. Like, what I'm seeing is we're inviting students, residents, medical staff that are coming in, they're volunteering or they're getting their hours, which is great, but we're exposing them to a community that really needs that sensitive training. So I think it starts there. I think once people see that, you know what, I'm a nurse, I'm a whatever, and this person here is just a human body that is needing medical care. Doesn't matter. I'm here to provide medical care. Um, I think the important part is learning, accepting, and just providing that compassionate care, regardless of their
There,
sexual preference, sexual orientation, their
yeah,
identity, whatever it is, name it, put it in the blank. But just providing that compassionate care. I think that's where it starts, because I think once people in the medical field have that, they're going to provide better care
I
for a
agree.
patient, and then your patient is going to respond better. because they're going to feel like this
They
is a
stay
safe
and yeah,
place.
they stay a safe place, they stay in care, they're
Yes.
not afraid, and that is
They're
one
gonna take
thing.
their medicines, they're not gonna miss their appointments, and they're gonna be able to open up with their doctors, with the staff, because they know they're not coming in to be judged and criticized for whatever it is, you know? I think once that change happens, we'll see, the health of people that are LGBTQ, their health is going to get better, and especially the trans patients that we have, because a lot of them intentionally avoid going to the doctor
And
because they don't want to be judged.
yeah, and especially like if somebody is dealing with more chronic illness, like let's say that someone has cancer and
Mhm.
they know they might have cancer,
Mhm.
but they don't want to get it, they don't want to go get help because the way they've been treated, and it's
Yeah.
like they rather risk their they rather risk like getting the help they need than to go and be dehumanized
Mhm.
and feel not respected. And that's one thing that when I've been on these panels at two universities here in San Antonio, I talked about that to the medical students. I tell them, like, you have to go with an open mind. You gotta, you gotta, if you're in school to become the next doctor in these new generations, you have to learn and be accepting of others, even if it's not your, or you don't have to, but at least treat them with kindness.
Yeah.
Or there's something I did say. I'm very unfiltered, and I did tell them. I told these medical students, I'm like, but if you're somebody that's gonna come with your heart full of hate, your
Mhm.
mindset just set, and this is how I'm gonna treat you,
Mhm.
automatically you're gonna judge them based off of who they are, or their sexuality,
Mhm.
then this is not the field for you.
Yeah, for sure.
This is not a field
Mhm.
for you, because it takes a certain type of people to do to do medical work and to help save lives.
Yeah.
If you are planning to use your religion as a way to how you're going to treat others, and you're going to take care of only these people or that people,
Mhm.
or I'm going to leave these out, then you have no business in a medical field.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think, like, being in the field for the past 5 years, I think that's one thing that, from the experience of my brother, had similar for his HIV care. He was being treated a certain way,
Mhm.
and that's what got me involved into working in this field.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that we have to learn how to respect everybody, no matter
Yeah.
who they are or where they come from.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see as well. We have the same vision, is we want to see our providers advocate more and be more understanding of our people and community and people in general.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like for Martha, her what she got sick from was her stomach. That is like an issue that can happen to anybody, and her colon burst. That's something that can happen to anybody. And she went sepsis and it caused pneumonia. All of that, part of her colon was removed. All of that doesn't matter who the person is. That is a human body that's needing severe medical attention. So, I think when people in the medical field have that understanding of who their patient is and are truly listening without any kind of judgment, I think that's when we're really going to see people improve, their own health. I think we'll see the healthcare field get better. Now, I think we'll see, especially our trans people, really thrive. So that's my hope for the future.
And I think it's accomplished. It's able to be
We can do
accomplished.
it.
I know we can do it. I think now, like, a lot of, like, the new generation of doctors and providers, a lot of it is changing. I
Mhm.
think it's more with the older generation that some of them are like that, but there are a lot of them that are willing and are adapting to, like, the change in the time of where we are.
Mhm.
And I think it's most important. And yeah, I think that's what we need. We need more people to be
Mm.
accepting of others.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
And I think my recommendation, you as a trans person, trans woman living out there thriving, sometimes all it is I mean, I hope that any person comes across a person that's not so accepting, but you have put your little stamp where you've changed their mindset. Like, oh, I met this wonderful woman today and she expressed to me that she's trans and she was so amazing. And you know what? Trans people are not as scary as what everybody else thinks, or they're not dangerous, or they're not, I think putting that out there. And that's how I share Martha. Like, I
Human
trusted Martha
kindness.
with, yeah, I trusted Martha with my children. Like, I am not afraid, at all. And I'm teaching my children to love and accept everybody. So I think it's just sharing and going out there and killing a person with kindness or
I
just making their day. Like, I love your bag. And
Yeah,
something like that is
even
beautiful.
yeah, even the smallest little um acknowledgement that someone exists, I think goes a very long way. And I know I have said this to a lot of like my followers, and I tell them, especially for a trans person or anyone LGBT, I think it's one important thing for us is to learn is to educate others. Don't get
Mhm.
offensive if somebody misgenderize you. It's all, like you said in the beginning,
It's a
it,
teaching
it's,
moment.
it's a teaching moment. And you never know, because I've came across people that they didn't see me for who I was, but they respected me at the end when they got to know me. And I think
Yeah.
that's the most important is
And
kindness.
one day at a time and one person at a time. And I think we'll get there.
We will. Well, Libby, I know we are running out of time. I said that like 15 minutes ago, but this one literally running out of time. But I want to say thank you so much and for doing this with me. I think it was important to talk about Martha, and this is a way to keep her alive in our hearts and every day that what we do in helping our trans community. And so I want to say thank you for being an amazing person. Thank you for being that big sister. There's a lot of little Marthas out there,
Oh, yeah.
and that I think you're amazing. And anybody, if you're looking for any healthcare, we have our amazing resource centers throughout the city of San Antonio. By all means, let me put a disclosure. This is Unfiltered Beauty. This is my personal podcast. And so I want to say thank you so much for joining me today and making this. I'm going to be doing the editing over the weekend, so it probably won't be out till Monday. But I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a sister to me as well.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And I'm glad that we're in each other's lives, and we can't wait. We'll see what the future is.
Yeah, I look forward to the future. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, again, my name is Rain with Unfiltered Beauty, and today I had Libby, and so thank you so much. And from the bottom of our hearts, y'all stay beautiful.
Thank you.
Bye.